Good day, good viewers. We are back once again on this channel to rub minds on critical issues affecting our collective humanity. Last week we talked about the masses. Since after that presentation, I've received genuine criticisms, I've received insults from those who feel I am not empathetic enough towards the plight of the masses. They told me that I don't know where it pinches. Well, that's the story for another day. But there is another group who genuinely asked the question, what do we do? And I have an answer for you. I'm already doing what I think should be done. I am talking to the masses. I bring their plight to their consciousness. I conscientize them on the need to eschew bitterness, to eschew envy, and to rather channel that energy towards holding leadership accountable, towards engaging those in power and demanding what is right and not being swayed by sentiment and not selling out based on pretenses, claiming what is yours, what by right belongs to you, rather than taking crumbs and betraying the collective good. So that's all I have to say about that. I am calling on other members of the public to join in conscientizing the masses, to hold leadership accountable. But that's not the topic for today. Today I have some other thing that should also be of great concern to every right-thinking member of our collective humanity. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the office of the priest in our society. Perhaps I don't have all the time to expand into the priests of other religions, but let's zero it down on the priesthood of Christianity. Who is a priest? A priest is supposed to be a moral guide, the star that directs people towards moral rectitude. A priest is supposed to be a shining example on how to live for humanity. And I'm asking you, dear priest, be you pastor, reverend father, bishop, archbishop, are you living up to your calling? A priest is supposed to be somebody that presents himself to society in such a way that you don't need to go out there to preach to people to join your congregation. No, you don't. Your life should attract people. People should leave whatever they are doing and run to you and ask you to please convert them, to please make them to be like you. That is what we saw people doing during the time of the Christ whom you represent. The image of the Christ you have presented to society, are you living up to it? Take the Reverend Father, for instance. In the Catholic Church, the highest ritual is what is called consecration, when the Mass is being celebrated. At that point, it is believed that there is a real transformation of bread and wine into the body and blood of Christ. They call it transubstantiation. My dear, I want to ask you a question, dear Reverend Father. Do you actually believe? Do you believe? Because if you believe, you should be so afraid. If you actually believe that the ritual you are undertaking is actually turning that thing into the real flesh and body of Christ there on the altar, you should be shaking with fear. Do you believe? There is a song people will sing. Do you believe? Yes, I believe. Do you believe? Do you really believe in what you profess? It's one thing to profess. It's another thing to live up to that profession. Pastors, do you really believe you are representatives of Christ on earth? Does your life reflect that? I have read that Christ rode on a horse, and most of you will use that as an example of affluence, of living luxury life. But that is not true. Christ didn't own the horse. He asked for it. It was brought to him. It didn't belong to him. It was returned to the owner after that very event. But these days, you want to drive in the biggest car in town. You want to be among those who drive the biggest cars. You even fly in private jets. You go about convincing your people that very gullible people that Christ was not a poor person. My dear, you are supposed to lead the society towards a moral direction. I want to put a challenge to the leaders of the church. Strip priesthood of all the incrustations of wealth. Tell every priest that once you become a priest, you own nothing. You travel long distances on foot to go talk to people. You borrow things and return to the owner. When they buy very big vehicles, you sell them off and give them to the poor. Do that today. I'm talking to the leaders of all the denominations of Christendom. Do that today, and there are very few people who will remain as pastors in the church. It's a challenge I'm throwing to you. Do you believe? Do you believe in what you profess? It is easy to say things. You go to the altar and talk to the congregation. You make them believe that you believe in what you are doing. Do you believe? If I am turning the body, the bread and wine into the body and blood of Christ, I can never use my tongue to tell a lie. I will be so afraid that I will even be crying while doing it. I will be shaking in fear. Are you even afraid of what you do? Do you believe in what you profess? My name is Chidozie Chukwudike. See you next time.